Hey, what's up? It's the Hoppy Craftsmen. I just literally got done with an epic teabagging of Nate. This is Jeff.
Chris.
Nate.
And we're the Hoppy Craftsmen.
Yeah.
So we took stock.
Part deux.
Part
two. We took stock in what we were drinking, and there was a prodigious amount of beer. And so we just went forward and we turned this into 2 episodes.
Yep.
Bonus.
Yeah.
We're going to plow through, we have like 8 more beers left.
Yeah, a 7 past the 3 on the table. Feel free, just so you understand, you've missed about 30 seconds from the last episode to the next one. You haven't missed a thing. Like I said, like Jeff said, he did a little ball dragging after I didn't enjoy the left, right that much.
But if you want
I understood.
Go back, listen to the first episode, catch up, then come back to this one.
Yeah. We did a 2-parter with wilderness in the beginning, wilderness in the middle. So I hope you enjoyed that episode.
Excellent.
All right.
So what are we drinking first, guys?
Jeff opened a bottle. This is what we're drinking first.
Done.
I have these 16.
Do you know the name of it yet?
These are like the most adorable, like little growlers, like ever.
Adorbs.
So what we have
I need a beer
here
stat, dude.
is...
I'm parched.
Wait for me, please.
So thirsty.
Bear with us.
It's funny. So like here's the thing is if you listen to our podcast normally, right, you're probably used to us being like, yeah, we're starting off good. And then we get like real sloppy towards the end. This
should get interesting.
if you started with this one, it's going to be sloppy in the beginning and be fucking super sloppy at the end.
Yeah, we've had at least 6 or 7 beers up to this point. Just split 16 ounces.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. We're not like 3 sheets to the wind.
We're not pounding them.
But no, we've got a lot of beer to work through. We had a lot of beer stocked up at the Libby Casa.
Yeah.
And at your guys' house as well, frankly.
Yeah, a few of them.
And we need to work through them. So Jeff's pouring us what now?
We are starting with Beer Research Institute Nubilis IPA, and it is their version of the super trendy, super hazy New England style IPA. What does that mean, guys?
That it's cloudy.
Whoa.
Check.
What?
Yep.
So BRI, Beer Research Institute, is in Mesa Gilbert. Where's it's Gilbert?
Mesa Gilbert area. Just basically, if you get off the exit for Wilderness, you can get off on the same exit for BRI, something like that, Stapley or something like that.
It's a little farther apart, I think, right?
Whatever. It's one street down.
It's
like
just
one
street
street
down, yeah.
down. Either way, they're in the same
They're within
vicinity.
distance.
So in all the podcasts we do, we always freaking rail on these places about their parking.
Yeah, let's
good parking.
get into that.
Beer Research Institute has
true.
to get a pass.
Unless,
And
someone
the-
said on their comments, it's like a Harry Potter opening night, then I bet it's still a little
the
challenging.
Beer Research, I can't think of your name right now, so I'm terribly sorry, but Beer Research Institute's owner
Yeah, Matt.
literally said that he's like, hey, Beer Research Institute has legit parking.
You're like,
and by the way, I hear their beverages are okay as well. And he is totally right. I mean, their parking is super legit. I have never once gotten pissed off.
It's true.
With
I'm
parking,
always at a spot to go
going
there.
to BRI. They're by a super legit sushi place. There's a Starbucks. There's a movie theater. So props to BRI. Those guys got legit parking. I mean, they broke the mold. There is a microbrewery in the greater Phoenix area with super legit parking. Beer Research Institute, check it out.
Thanks, Matt and Greg. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
no, thank you.
No, yeah, thank you. Let's
Right.
taste this thing.
Beer impressions? Super hoppy nose.
So color-wise, it's definitely, not as light as some of the ones we had tonight, but a little, well, in the first episode, I would say it's yellow, a little darker on the straw color. Low head. What do you guys, aromas, anything?
Just say little head.
Little.
Super-
Just a little bit of head there.
I
Nothing
get,
crazy.
I get a super hoppy aroma off this one.
It's not super, there's not a ton of aroma
like
coming off it.
pineapples.
There's a little bit of pineapple to it, yeah.
Did he add any juice to this one?
Nothing.
But it's not like I'm just spilling myself there. It's not like there's not tons of aroma just flowing at me right between those one at all.
Not slapping you right in the face.
Yeah, it's not just fucking getting up in those nostrils that I have.
Yeah, let's see here. This is a good, like you said, it's still cloudy. It's New England IPA.
Yeah, it's cloudy.
No head on it.
It's
I'm getting like a kind of crazy Berliner, grainy, nutty taste out of this.
grainy. I'm definitely picking up the graininess to it. It's almost kind of
definitely
like
bitter.
it's like it's weird. There's bitterness to it. It almost kind of has it's like a very hoppy Hefeweizen.
Yeah.
Without like the the normal coriander banana-y
Right.
kind of.
It's like that crazy grainy Berliner with lots of hops.
Right. Need anything to?
It's I mean, I'm not getting any crazy Berliner notes or anything like that, but
Wheat beer. Wheat beer for me more than a Berliner for sure.
I just think it's a little different in the carbonation, is why maybe that's coming
a little
up.
flat. I think maybe
It's
it could be because of the squealer or
the
the
bitterness
little.
of it is just I'd be interesting to know what the IBUs on it were. I really would be.
So the
bitterness seems
container
high on
that
this
we have it in is actually a little growlette or squealer, but it's a 1 pint.
16-ounce growler.
16 ouncer.
So this was a special thing that they did for
Filled yesterday.
Father's Day, right?
Yes.
It was a Father's Day special they did, which is really cool. I mean, that's actually reaching out to dads for this.
Pretty good. I enjoy that.
I do too. This is good.
I'd be pretty happy to receive that.
Very nice. And what was it called?
right.
Nebulous?
Nubulous.
Nubulous.
Yummy.
So what else? We got some more beers here to fucking pour.
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and pour us number 3 on the top 50 list that we were reviewing from the previous episode. We're gonna continue with at least that theme of top 50 IPAs. The Virtual Planetoid from Fieldwork Brewing. Huge IPA. I love that. It's a huge IPA.
Huge.
It's
huge.
It's huge. I like making IPAs. My IPAs are bigger than other IPAs. You can ask anyone. My IPAs are bigger than
I was
their
gonna
IPAs.
say a lot of people tell me I have good IPAs. This is the best.
Number 3
Let's throw him mouth a little
on
bit.
the top 50 best IPAs in America.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Jeff, thank you for joining the podcast just so that we could get Trump impressions onto the show. Just impressions in general or movie quotes. Just I appreciate that. I enjoy that.
This beer is huge.
No, I won't continue, but I just thank you.
No, thank you.
Another glass here. I need one more glass.
Oh. I'll hand you one of mine.
Gimme. We all got a little bit of the shit at the bottom of the can of this one.
Perfect. I'm in.
It's a little extra chunkies for
You know,
everybody.
Here's the thing: is that if you're not into those beers, sometimes don't pour that bottom out. You know, leave it in there. But if you're professionals like we are,
Yeah. Dump it.
try it. Try that. Changes the flavor of the beer a little bit. It's nice.
So
Or it could be awful.
Virtual Planetoid from Fieldwork. Fieldwork is awesome, man. They take their labeling up to a whole different level of just awesomeness. Frankly, the font, the look, the design, it's all badass.
So very unfiltered look to it. It's definitely in that range.
It's firmly in that hazy IPA territory.
Yeah, lighter.
That yeast, that smell on the aroma, you can smell. You can tell they use that London
yeah.
yeast, that
Shit,
London yeast.
That aroma's fucking amazing.
It's like super dank.
Yeah, that's fucking good. I don't even know what that smell is, but it's amazing.
It smells good.
Yeah. Maybe a little dankness to it compared to being sweet, tropical.
There's definitely some dankness there. A little grassy.
I mean, if you really want to listen to a podcast, people just actually like smell into a cup. This is probably the one for you guys.
Right?
I mean, this is pretty awesome.
I want to listen to a podcast where I can listen to people breathe. Welcome to the Hoppy Craftsmen.
You know, it's funny. There's on Instagram, it like gives you like suggestions when you do the search. And at one point, my wife actually had this search where it suggested that she listened to this lady that she had some mic that was on her body or wherever that she touched things like trash or garbage, like really like she would like use her long nails.
Sounds fucking weird, dude.
And then
Why?
she would eat things.
What?
Yeah, you could hear her like
All
crunching
right,
on it.
that's fucking weird.
So what I'm
That's
saying is,
fucking weird.
my point is, if people there's a market for that kind of shit, there's a market for us fucking people smelling beers.
All right.
Just saying.
All right. Who did this top 50 IPA list we were talking about from the previous
It
part
was
one?
Draft Magazine.
Draft.
Okay. I think it's so funny this made number 3.
Okay.
Because it's good. It is. It's good. But
Wow.
how the fuck do you pick 50?
I would interchange this with that Bottle Logic left right we
I
just
didn't.
had.
I didn't
Really?
change this. I didn't change whatever. If this is number 3, I didn't change whatever number 1 was with that smells like Teen Spirit. I mean, honestly, because this is good. This is good, but I've had 8 or 10 beers so far today. Don't get me wrong. I've been cleaning my palate. People might talk shit about the fact that I can't, 10 beers at this point. My tasting has gone down. Whatever. I've had a couple beers like this already today, and it's good, but I just think it's funny it made number 3 versus number 50 or versus even making the list, because I drink so many great beers, and I think Draft Mag can't pull out of Arizona Constant because they want to fight that aroma, that Arizona urge or whatever, the Arizona, okay, well, you guys are in Arizona, so you drink a lot of Arizona beer. Yeah. Well, why have 5 beers in the Arizona list? Because you know what? IPAs are hard not to replicate in a certain sense when you just have a bunch of breweries making IPAs like this. And I've had a lot of beer like this, and it's good, but I just think it's funny it made number 3. It doesn't stand out in some spectacular way to me.
No, I'm with you. I think this is
I've had a lot of amazing beer, and definitely a lot of better ones than this.
Yeah. Yeah, this is good. It's good beer. It is good beer. It's just not, again, it's not a number 3 beer maybe for me.
It's just not blowing my mind.
Again.
And I want it to. Want it to. Because I always I get fanboy about beers. I want anything from Fieldwork to just blow my head out of my ass.
And again, these are guys where, there were almost 400 beers that they tested to come up with this top 50 list.
Yeah, I just think it's so funny.
And everyone, I mean, all of our taste buds are different. I mean, here I am like losing my fucking mind over this bottle logic left, right. And I mean, Nate, you're like, I don't hate it, but here you go. You can have it. And Chris, you're like, I wasn't crazy about it when I had it. It's better now.
Yeah, I like it now.
And I'm like, who do I got to blow to get more of this?
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
that just the beer zombie. That's the blow.
And I felt that same way.
Hey, beer zombie.
Let's do
so
this.
I'm sitting there. I mean, reviews of music, of movies, of food, of beer, of anything under the sun that can be reviewed is totally subjective. And I mean, I'm not going to like what you like, what he likes. And it's one of those things. And I agree with you guys. I mean, this is a good IPA. How this is number 3. I don't even think this is in the top 5 of the beers we've had so far today. It is good. I mean, it's a damn good beer.
Yeah.
But I don't see this as number 3 on a top 50 freaking beers, IPAs in America.
Top 20 maybe.
Let's be honest, it's an opinion piece.
No, of course.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? So sure. Interchange any of the top 50. It's just his top 50 beers. Really,
but it wasn't just him though. They actually had judges
You're
come
right.
in. So
good point. You're right. It's still an opinion piece.
But it's still opinion. It's their opinion as a judge, as whatever else. It's the best.
Where did those 3 judges come from? Did they come from 3 separate regions? Did they come from the same region?
Right. Right. This isn't scientific by fucking any measure. Again, no matter what you fucking do, you can only pull so much out of it to fucking make it not.
Yeah, it's opinion.
Whatever. But it's still opinions. There's still opinions and taste is such one of those things that, there are things that you can pick up in beer that I'll never pick up. And I'll pick up things in your beer that you are. We're more.
No, dude, I have way better tasting than you do.
Right.
I'm just fine.
But there's certain things that you're very susceptible to for flavors, like off flavors in beer, right? And then there are things that I won't even notice, and there'll be other things that I can get. So, this fucking whatever the judges could have got, it could have been whatever.
Absolutely.
But
yeah,
again, top 3, top 10,
all right.
Okay.
Well, let's see. Let's pour the top. You have a beer to. They have another Fieldwork brew.
And that was it. I was going to say is that I'm almost like I want to hope this is like the underdog in me. Maybe
$5 says it's better.
I want to say this is better than that one.
$10. Let's up it. $10 says.
But before,
Jeff, shake his hand for me. I'm too far.
Before we get into the next tasting, this is a perfect segue into what I wanted to get to. I'm sitting in the library and doing my requisite beer reading, and I come across this article that's called "We Asked 9 Brewers What's the Most Overrated Beer Right Now." So you got 9 brewers. They're all weighing in on what the most overrated beer is right now. What do you guys? You think there's a consensus?
You know what?
What do you think they said?
Do we get to guess what's on there?
I'm hoping you do.
Okay, so it's a national list.
I'll refrain from it because I did read this article. So
okay, I haven't.
What's the most overrated beer right now?
Right now,
This is according to 9 brewers. I'm
something from Tired Hands, maybe. Oh gosh, I don't know.
No, but I think it's what style beer.
What style?
What style?
Oh,
Not
okay.
necessarily what.
Okay,
Just
all right,
what.
my bad.
And
Sorry,
I don't think
Tired
it's a
Hands.
style. It's like
Tired Hands. For the record, I would love to drink your beer.
We're not tired of your beer at all, Tired Hands.
Yeah, I would love the opportunity to become tired of Tired Hands.
What's the most overrated beer right now?
New England IPAs all day are just fucking smashed into the ground. And go ahead. All right.
Didn't even make the list.
No,
What?
which is weird, right? Yeah.
And with you, as soon as I saw the headline, that was the first thing I thought is like fucking hazy IPAs are gonna freaking make this list.
Sour?
8 out of 9. So let me break it down for you.
Hold on before you get into
Sours
that.
had to make the list.
I let that fucking BRI beer sit for a little bit and warm up. That's really good.
I really liked that beer.
Wow.
I liked it way more than I liked the field work. For the record,
100% true.
For Beer Research Institute, if you listen to this episode, that beer definitely knocked the socks off for me versus the field work.
I'm with you.
And I am all about, I'm like, I follow field work. I'm like, I want you. I need you.
I just hit the BRI again, and you guys are absolutely right.
When it warmed
Yeah.
up, it was way better. God, that's awesome.
Excuse me. I don't want to fucking like disagree with you, but I think it was better from the
No.
Jump Street.
No, you're 100% right.
It just was.
It jumped up even more.
Yeah, right.
Like,
With the flavors,
like level. Like when it first got poured, BR is still better.
I wanted to like
it warmed up and got even better. So sorry,
I'm
sorry,
such
Jeff.
A fanboy like that, like honestly, I'm such a fanboy like that.
Yeah.
You just have to present from field work. I knew I liked them because I saw their labels.
Right.
I was
They had
like,
some good
I was
fucking
like, I
cans.
can't wait
Good
to see.
stuff.
I was like, I can't wait to try your beer. But then it's like, and I've had Pulp.
Pulp was good.
Pulp was nuts.
Yeah.
Pulp was nuts. Pulp was very good. My wife loved it. I loved it. It was great. But it, this one disappointed. Virtual Planetoid disappointed, and they made number 3 on this IPA list, which is just, it's such opinion.
It's
Go right ahead.
it's no orange on a toothpick.
True.
You guys see what I did.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay, here we go.
All right, number 1.
9
Number
brewers.
10. Are you gonna start with
What's most overrated beer right now? Number whatever.
start with the oldest, or start with, I guess, whatever.
We asked 9 brewers what the most overrated beer is to find out.
Yeah, I guess it'll.
Well, it's not a top 10. It's
You're
just
right.
literally
Exactly.
just a list of 10 people.
I was just gonna put that together. All right.
Nicole
Fuck off.
Carrier, co-founder and president of Throwback Brewery. Any beer that requires a consumer to stand in line for hours to be able to enjoy. Let me just say, I love this woman right off the bat.
No.
Yeah.
Fuck that. There's people standing in line for bad beer, but there's also people standing in line for great beer.
Her quote, so many wonderfully made, underrated beers out there. Maybe they aren't as well marketed, but they often taste as good as some of the beers requiring hours of wait time.
Wrong.
And I take us right back to
Wrong.
I take us right back to the Fieldworks BRA. No.
Fact.
Boom.
You're absolutely right. But if you want to throw a blanket on it, you're going to get it wrong all day. Wrong. If you want, but the fact is, there are some people standing in line for the wrong beer.
John Falco, head brewer, Lincoln's Beard Brewing Company. Any specialty beer that we brew, that we save, that is rated higher than our flagships.
I don't understand.
So they're saying
Do you
that.
mean something you barrel age?
Right. So it'd be like Ren House saying that the renovation is better than the 10.
The renovation is better than the 10.
Whoa.
Hey now.
Ooh, that's debatable.
I don't think Ren House should be very butthurt about that comment.
Right.
But I love the renovation.
Pretty
Oh, I'm not saying
sure.
it's bad.
But no,
Pretty sure I said on this
but I think
show.
they mean the opposite. I think they mean to say that that it's overrated if a specialty is better than the flagships.
I have not.
I think that's what is that what he meant, Jeff?
We don't know what he meant because he's not here. But I'm
I mean,
sitting
I
here.
read his quote.
You're asking that
I just
question
meant as the interpreter of that comment.
You're
My bad.
asking that question to a guy who literally said he would fillet someone to get more of the 10, but not Ren House.
Hang on a second. Any specialty beer that we brew that we save that is rated higher than our flagships? That's
Yeah, he's saying that any beer that they've saved that's highly rated is overrated compared to their flagship beer, which
Exactly.
would be Ren
So
House's Renovation.
Is so the 10 is overrated compared to the Renovation, and I would absolutely agree with that.
Really?
Yeah, because the Renovation is such a clean, crisp, great IPA, and the 10 is automatically gonna get hype because Tombstone and Pueblo Vita and the fucking Killer Bee Honey. Is it a great beer? Absolutely.
all right, so,
but is it better than a Renovation?
You know what?
I would
Opinion
not.
here.
I wouldn't blow a dude over Renovation.
So here's
Fact. Agreed. But like I said, opinion here. No.
So
Opinion.
I guess the difference would be there. Here's wow, sucking on titties. Here's my thing is that I like this article to me isn't necessarily saying taste of beer or best beer or whatever else. It's saying what's most hyped, right?
You're right. Exactly.
So,
No, you're right.
in
He's
that
just
aspect,
saying, he's saying
Overrated.
overrated.
Not quality.
Quality or taste or
Fact.
better taste.
Oh, yeah.
So okay, so
yeah.
in an aspect,
but, in just like I like the Wren House I love Wren House as an example here.
I'm so glad
It's
I
just
brought this
saying,
article to
the
this
Wren
podcast.
House, the 10 is so good, but way better than Renovation. No, I don't fucking think so.
I think so.
the Renovation is a flagship for a reason.
but for me
and it's fucking good.
those are two different things to me at least.
Oh yeah, they're two different styles of beer all
so
day.
is the
Even though they may fall under an IPA.
is the Renovation more hyped? No. Is
No.
the 10 more hyped? Well, of course,
It's limited.
It's limited. So
you're talking to somebody who lives in a limited world.
is it
I love
overrated?
limited anything.
yeah, but that's
Is it overrated?
overrated.
Compared,
No.
compared, yes, in my opinion. If you
Moving on.
Moving on. Let's move
All
on.
right.
The next guy, I think
compared
Wild
'cause it's-
Wild Ales are overrated, which, I mean, sours, blah, blah, blah.
Give me a beer.
Are Wild Ales overrated? Maybe. This is my favorite.
hang on a second. No. What about the Wild Ales?
I think Wild Ales are most overrated. Sure, it's fun to let wild yeast go to town in your wort, but as far as pure drinking enjoyment, I've tasted more unpleasant wilds than good ones. Blending with other brews seems to be the best way to make the wilds palatable. Just because that's how it was done back in the day doesn't mean it was a good beer back then. Pete Anderson from, I'm not even going to, Para Adiola Brewing Company.
Sounds like a sure source. I would say I just thought it was interesting. I knew there would be a Wild Ale. I knew there'd be a Wild Ale. Someone was going to say that.
Or sours.
Because sours
for sure.
are just
yeah,
massive
sours are
right
starting
now.
to gain traction.
It didn't say sour, it said wild.
Wild ales. Well,
What are Wild Ales produce?
sour ales.
Don't get me wrong, kettle sours are great, but and just honorable mention, Miss Poncho Wren House, one of the best kettle sour ales I've
It's
ever had.
weird. This is getting weird all of a sudden.
I don't have any issues coming off as a fanboy.
This next one is my favorite. Kevin Blodger. Kevin Blodger, I'm sorry if I butchered
It's got to
your
be
name.
Blogger, Kevin Blogger.
Blodger. Kevin Blodger. Co-founder and director of brewing operations at Union Craft Brewing. Quote, the limited release you are standing in line for. I fucking love this guy.
I understand that these people feel they hate it. Some of these breweries hate that.
You know,
But
it's
oh,
we felt a little
come
bit.
on,
we felt a
man.
little bit at historic. Or historic actually kind of said that. It's like, yeah, goddamn beer drinkers. Like,
no, he said I won't stand in line for beer.
right.
We've heard multiple brewers say I won't stand. We've heard Jeff.
This guy, I stood in line for beer today.
Fact.
And
Thank you.
But
Was it worth it?
It was totally worth it.
Yeah, but you'll stand in a 10-minute line though, right, Jeff? I mean, honestly, is that standing in line for beer, for standing in a 10-minute line?
I stood
No.
in line. They gave me water. They
Had
gave
you-
me
yeah.
they gave me the beer that I was standing in
I was
line
gonna
for.
say,
Not bad.
He's talking about standing at Wilderness. I've had Wilderness feed me coffee and donuts in a line.
Oh,
so
that was
you
the
know
best.
what?
Wasn't that great?
I don't give a shit. But the fact is, standing in line for beer is hopping in at 7 if it opens at 9. That's standing in line for beer. Let's be honest. If you showed up 10 minutes before they opened, you stood in a relatively small line.
30 minutes.
we stood in line at fucking 24K Works. That was fucking
2.5 hours long.
2.5 hours.
That was standing in
Right.
line. But you know what? If you have a problem with me wanting to hang out with my friends and stand in line for beer and talking to other cool people who like beer, that's one side of the coin. But you know what? Was that beer any amazing? No, it wasn't. 24K Juice was great.
Oh, it was amazing beer.
It was great. But was it, the experience was driving down there. So I guess that's not their point. Regardless, let's get back to the point. Standing in line for beer. Sure. That is There's a couple ways to look at it. I'm sorry. There's a couple ways to
I
look
hear
at it. Is it stupid in some occasions? Definitely. And who
Right.
figured that out? Everybody who stood at line at 7 at Wilderness. Doesn't happen anymore.
No. Yeah.
Doesn't happen anymore.
Nope.
So, but people are standing in line for the Wren House, the 10.
Dude, that was fucking nuts to butts fucking for like 2.5 hours.
We were there for almost 4, dude. I mean, we were there forever. And
Yeah.
it was just, regardless, it would never slow down.
No.
In their defense, I rolled up to that place thinking I wasn't going to get shit, and I walked up. I got my 4-pack.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I walked away.
No, you went at the perfect time.
It wasn't nuts.
It just wasn't like they probably could have used an extra person just to handle those sales of cans, but that they have a bar to serve, so that's all good. That's business.
Let's close this one out.
Fine. I wasn't done. I just want to say that it's not dumb to stand in line for a can.
That's true.
Again,
I'm with you.
Again,
It all depends on your opinion of what's worth it to stand in line.
This takes us back to reviews and all. Everything's subjective. So, David Heldon, CEO of Liquid Mechanics. List is long on this one, so I'll refrain from picking any one beer. But in my experience, every time I've had a very highly rated or overhyped beer, I will eventually come across a beer that is better. Sometimes it takes a while, though. Blah 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 blah. Don't want to call it any fellow brewery. I will say that I don't buy into cult beer hype. Love this guy too, Patrick Barnes, head brewer at Isla Morada Beer Company. Damian Brown, brewmaster at Bronx Brewery. We're not going to name names, but there's clearly a short list of beers that are more about the idea than the liquid. That is very, very, very true.
I'd rather he just named names and been vague as shit about it. What are you talking about? I don't know what he's talking about.
Well, I can just
Tell me what he's talking about because I don't get it.
no. I can maybe like put my thoughts onto his thoughts and then assume that he's talking about a certain
his
brewery.
comments worth dog shit then.
Yeah.
I don't want to say names, but there's some people who is more about the idea than the beer.
No,
What
but
do you mean?
That's true because
Budweiser.
you have all these people, and I mean naming names.
Boy, I guess if you're talking shit about InBev, sure.
but you have
He would have named him then.
you have
Yeah, he would have fucking named him then.
you have the Trilliums and the freaking tree houses, and you have
What about
all these different freaking breweries to where the
Whoa.
only and I'm not saying that they're bad beers,
Not what
but
you're
I'm
saying,
saying that the hype outweighs the quality. Here we
Well,
are.
I mean,
here we
sure.
are sitting here. We just drank the number 3 rated IPA by Draft Magazine, and it wasn't even.
But Draft Mag's super local. I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong. They're a bunch of guys who like great beer.
Draft Mag is
But they're
local
regional.
in that they're Phoenix, but they are an international publication.
True. And they have acts, and there's no arguments that they have international reach.
Right.
Because I'm sure they know people who can get great beer all over the world. But yeah, we just had Virtual Planetoid, and not a fan. Had Tiger Uppercut, also further getting disappointed.
So really, okay, let's get into that real quick then. Let's go and into this fucking beer. So another
We're gonna
field
have
work.
to take a break after this one.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. So field work now. So this is our second field work beer. This is our Tiger Uppercut Double IPA, 8.5%. Nate evidently jumped right into it. Not a huge it's Mosaic, Eldorado, and Equinox hops.
Well, let's go into it. It's clear. It's flat. I mean, and that's not a problem. But
Right,
it's the taste and
Not super hazy.
Again,
at all.
on the smell.
It's
On
funny.
the smell, I get malt right off the top because that's what I'm not a fan of. So that's what I pick up on.
So-
and on my personal tasting notes.
So not hazy by any means, but not necessarily super filtered either. Though it's I mean,
Well, it's
at least
clear.
It's
I mean,
well,
it looks clean, doesn't it? Don't you
it
think?
looks. It's not like fucking super clean.
Yeah.
but
Okay,
it's fucking.
fine.
It's not
fine. It's
hazy by
it's
any means.
just the fucking slightest thing of murky.
There you go. I'll take it. It's a little murk.
It's
a little murky.
But if you were a home brewer, you'd be proud as shit.
Oh,
of
I'd be
that.
fucking super proud of that shit.
So, but no, again on the smell, it's just malt to me, and and that's again personal tasting note. That's what I pick up on. That's what I don't like about a beer sometimes is it's when it's overpowering on the malt and not as well balanced as I'd like. Jeff,
I like
you
it.
have 3 separate beers in front of you.
I get the malt thing, but I think this is well balanced. And I really hate to say balance on this podcast because I know it's kind of overdone, but these brewers knew what they were doing.
You know what? It's funny.
I just, and I respect Jeff's opinion on tasting like a lot, because obviously we go way back and we like a lot of the same beers. But man, I know for a fact I just must have a sensitivity to a certain amount of things, and I'm sure other people feel the same way. And other people love the smell and taste on these beers, but there's definitely a certain vein of beer that I just don't get into, and other people call them balanced, and I'm like, what are you talking about?
So I will say this, in this necessarily a rare occasion, but it's not necessarily happens all the time. I'm actually with Nat on this side. I don't
Stop.
First of all,
Everybody stop the show. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
we need that soundboard. Yeah. What the fuck?
Yeah.
No, and I'll say this: it's not because it's fucking malty to me. I don't really get the whole lot of malt.
Yeah, I hear you.
I actually get some kind of medicinal kind of fucking taste to it a little bit, which is really weird to me. It's a taste. It doesn't like super band-aidy or fucking whatever, but it's very like antiseptic, maybe kind of little taste to it.
I think it's kind of like the clash behind the booziness,
right? And the booziness is there.
It's and like I don't think it's one of the kind of like classic off flavorings of from a problem with fermentation.
Correct.
But something with the all the different, like the maltiness and the hoppiness and the alcohol kind of make it gives you that kind of antiseptic quality.
Right. Okay.
So I'm with you there. And I smell a lot of tropical and maltiness on the nose.
Oh, I'll say this.
But I get a lot of that antiseptic taste in
the aroma of this beer is actually pretty pleasant. I would say this. It smells actually pretty good to me.
I wonder what's wrong with me. Because sometimes...
I also wonder that.
Yeah. Lies.
But it's one of those things where it smells really good to me a little bit. It doesn't smell amazing, but I mean, it doesn't smell like there's fucking computers behind me right now. The cans smell fucking amazing. This one, I wouldn't can it and sell it to somebody.
The smell is much more on than the taste.
Right.
Well, I wish we had the pulp to taste and smell, because it's just a much different beer, and it was really, really good, and these aren't bad, but I would just love to show you the other side of the coin, that they can make a beer I love. And so far, unfortunately, and I tell you right now, if I went to go pick up one of these beers, I drove to almost San Francisco to pick up a 4-pack of this beer, man, I'd have been depressed.
Well, it's
thank God there's 1,000 good bottle shops in between here and there, because if I tasted this,
I'm gonna jump back a little bit to a previous episode that we have, and we talked about
don't go too far. My gums are floating.
Oh Jesus, Arizona whales, right? That we have.
That was our last podcast.
Versus some other shit, right? Well, it's our last one that was released just currently, and there's gonna be Arizona Wilderness. Then
there's part
1
here,
and then part 2. So
I'm trying to whole thing.
We're talking late June here, folks.
Yeah, it's insane. But my thought was that, like when Jeff says, is like, we if I fucking trade for this with a bunch of fucking people for some Arizona crap, like if I traded a fucking 4-pack of fucking the Arizona Wilderness fucking smells like Teen Spirit, I'd be fucking sorely disappointed about this beer.
If I trade one Arizona,
well, 1 for 1, right? Even that point,
I'd be like, man, I got the short end of this stick.
Yeah.
So
thankfully, the guy who hooked me up with this trade gave me several great beers.
That's cool.
But I mean, and I would have taken these all day just to know.
Well, right.
Just to know.
Well, and you'll never know. And then again, it's the point of.
And he traded me 1 for 1, so it's not like I paid out the ass for this.
Understandable.
But like Chris is getting at,
tasting.
We had a big conversation about whales and our backyard brews, and again, this isn't even close to the stuff we can drive less than 20 minutes to get.
I'll go to Pueblo Vita.
That's why the 50 top IPA list is so funny to me.
Right. It's like I said, it's opinionated. I understand that you're coming from at that point. It's even it's they drink a lot of fucking beer on that thing, but even then it's opinionated because it's still not. It's a very small sample of what really is out there. Really.
Exactly. And you know what? And we have a lot more beer to taste.
So
we have more beer to drink. So let's take a quick break real quick, and then we'll come back and keep this going.
Excellent.
Welcome back, guys. We're back again. I don't know what break that is or how many times we've broken, but this might be the last time.
Yeah, I'm
We're
broken.
back again with Jeff and Chris, and we're drinking more beer. We're going to do a couple of half-acre brews right now and a couple of beers from Transient.
Yes.
So let's get it going.
Let's go.
I wish we had music. I wish we had like the do you want to be a millionaire? No, do you want to be a millionaire just as you want to answer the question? Dun-dun-dun-dun.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
I like it.
that. That's pretty good.
No, I'm not feeling that.
I mean, it's in our constant soundboard need that we need to get into.
The problem is we probably actually don't need sound, but we'd like it.
We'd love it. It'd be great if we had a soundboard. So, wow, Nate just fucking got really excited with that fucking half-acre beer there.
A little bit of beer on the ground over here. That's okay. All right.
It's carpet. Just rub it in.
Jeff, let me get a little glass there, buddy.
Pass the glass.
In, and
so,
around.
Nate, it just cracked open a
galactic double daisy cutter from our good friend Brando Johnson. No, Brando Richardson.
Whoa!
But a shout out to Brandon Johnson. Just gave us a review on iTunes. So
iTunes.
Thank you, Brandon.
Yeah, Brandon Johnson.
Good looking out. Best beer in the West. Midwest.
I'm not sure if we did
Best beer in
this
the
episode
Midwest.
or not, but let me repeat this again. Please go out, leave us a review on iTunes. I know
that was last episode that we tried to beg them for reviews.
Let's do it this episode too then. So I'll say this is if you listen on like Stitcher or if you listen on to like Podcast or Overcast or whatever fucking all the different podcatcher feed fucking applications are, that's awesome. You leave one on there for us. We super appreciate it and we really like it. It'll help us rank up in those fucking specific. I have to grab a beer. Hold on.
Sorry.
It will help us rate up in those, but the big daddy, the grandfather of them all, no matter who you like or who doesn't like, is fucking iTunes. And it's what it comes down to. So if you please would, go to iTunes, leave us a rating at least, leave us a review.
Good or bad.
Good or bad, yeah.
I mean,
sure.
if it's a bad one, maybe not.
This is the second time I spilled beer on myself.
If it's a bad one, maybe just stop. Think about why you think it's bad. Maybe it's you.
We would love to hear why you like us, why you don't like us, what you want to hear more of, what you want to hear less of.
Yeah.
Anything we can do to improve this podcast, we are totally down for.
Well, then that's how we get
like
better,
I
right?
said, though, but if you don't like it, maybe internally reflect first. Maybe it's you.
But it's and it could be something that we need to do better, or that we're doing that we actually aren't putting enough effort into. Whatever it is,
know what?
Tell us.
You can tell these guys that you want to look for improvement. I want to say that they need to change.
Oh damn!
But I think we do. I think we do a pretty great thing.
It's
here.
the man in the mirror.
It could be Nate's lack of a shock mount.
Oh my gosh!
My microphone is just plugged into my arm. It doesn't have a shock mount. I'm not cool, but you know what? You don't need that to do a podcast, boys and girls.
Hey, first of all, I would actually be on Jeff's team this time, but I'm not. I'm on your team.
Say,
this is 2 times fucking tonight.
You haven't had a shock mount on this time?
No, man.
No wonder you sound like shit.
You guys?
Oh my god! Hey, I'm on your fucking team, dude.
Your microphone.
Have you guys even seen my shock mount?
No, I'm on Jeff's fucking team.
Jeff got himself a new mic, and he thinks he's fucking hot shit. So let's move on briskly.
I'm also on Jeff's team now. So sorry.
Good. You know what?
I don't have a shock mount, but I'm on Jeff's team.
Yeah, you're gonna be down a podcast member pretty soon.
I'm burning through them.
Again.
That's not gonna happen.
Again. What are we drinking? Double Galactic Daisy Cutter.
Poured it,
let's
motherfucker.
fucking smell this shit.
I will. Okay, again, not safe for work. This is like halfway through the podcast, but you probably
smells like citrus and shock mounts.
Wow, a little more amber
Barrel-aged
than
shock mount.
a little more amber than your normal yellow straw color. It's a little darker, right?
It's murky, but it's not obviously a hazy IPA.
Yeah, not super hazy.
It's a nice amber IPA. Great head retention.
Yeah, the head in there is really nice.
It smells like just like I don't know, like apricots or apricots.
Apricots. I'm with apricots. Apricots. I don't know what the fuck those are.
10-4 apricot.
I warned everybody in the beginning of this episode that would be very sloppy by the end of it.
Yeah, I would say this is going to be a great episode.
We're sliding into that really soon.
That's happening right now.
All right, Chris, go ahead and...
wow, that's really good. It smells good. I don't know about apricots, but it smells awesome. It smells like stone fruit.
You're right.
Yeah.
Stone fruit. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Fruit,
Stone fruit.
sweet.
Excuse me. Okay.
Yeah, some candied fruit maybe to it.
What does stone fruit even mean? It's still like peaches, apricots, plums, all the above.
I was about to argue with him right then, but I decided to move on.
Nope. Yeah.
I was gonna be like, I'm pretty sure an apricot is a stone fruit, but suck a dick. That's fine.
Shit
whoa, man.
Shit
Come
with
on.
the rock in the middle.
Civil.
Yeah.
I will say this.
With a pit, bitch.
Like the last beer, this aroma oversold actually the taste of the beer.
Yeah, I would agree.
It is
Wasn't super spectacular.
very bitter.
You need to pour the next beer.
Pour the next beer. Let's go through.
I'll do that while you pour.
Yeah. You read the information. I'll pour the beer.
I don't get super bitter off of this one.
Yeah. This one was guess the alcohol in this. I know
8%. 8%.
6.5.
You just went high because of my fucking reaction.
No, I read the can.
It was
6.5.
Yeah, it was 8%.
Wow.
8%er. I know. I was surprised by that too,
Cacao.
actually. This is brewed and canned by Half Acre Beer Company out of Chicago, Illinois. I haven't had many brews from Half Acre. Brandon has drank Galactic with us before. We've done a Galactic on a previous episode. It's been a hot minute, so why not do it again? But this doesn't say double India Pale. This just says a double pale. So this is a double pale ale called the Galactic Double Daisy Cutter. Interesting enough name, but isn't an interesting enough beer. And we also have from them, what's the second brew? Oh, no, you did Transient this time.
Yeah, it was all transient.
We're going to alternate because we also have another brew from Half Acre.
Oh, that's the end.
Son of a...
Move on.
All right.
Hand the beers around.
Yep. Right. All right. Let's try this other one from... now, this is from Transient. Let's tell me about this beer.
So this is a transient. This is let's say, cromulent.
This smells earthy and dank.
It's an American Pale Ale, 6%. Transient is actually from Bridgman, Michigan.
Smells malty.
Smells earthy and dank.
Whoa. Ooh. It's a weird kind of smell to it.
You've had these cans too long. Let's
Taste,
also give Transient.
taste
Well,
earthy and dank.
I'm trying to find a date on the second can. This was a trade. I didn't go to Michigan and get these cans and then bring them back.
That's true.
So,
It's true enough. True enough.
yeah, there's no date. I can't see any date on here.
Either way, you've had them for a couple months.
Yeah, we have them for a little while here.
Suffice to say, it might be a little past due, but it's decent enough. Did we talk about the color? It's a little darker. It's also, again, murky.
A little murky. No little head retention at all on this.
No, not a fan, if I just up front.
This is their pale. I started with the pale first.
Yeah.
It's got a kind of a weird emphasis on the malts, maybe, because it actually has kind of a...
Yeah, it's got that interesting little malt.
Yeah, it's got a little weird, weedy,
Jeff enjoyed
malty
it.
tasty. Cracker. Oh, damn. That's a different one.
Calling it a cracker, dude.
You and you.
Jesus, dude. Cracker.
Chubby, white, middle-aged white man.
This
Wait.
podcast is derailing quickly.
Oh, yeah. Let's
right.
get through these beers. Not a huge fan of this beer. It's okay.
No, I'm not a huge fan of it as well. Jeff, what are you thinking of it, buddy? Earthy and dankness. You've said that a couple of times.
I'm getting very
I can say earthy for sure.
definitely earthy, definitely dank, a little kind of musty. Not the best IPA I've ever had.
Muskrat.
Yeah.
Muskrat love. Muskrat love.
Now, while we while Chris pours this next beer, tell us how the homebrew is going.
The homebrew.
Let's get thick into that.
Is going amazing. So we did the homebrew, as you guys are aware of, for whatever last several maybe podcasts that we've done. It came out really well. The Grainfather, I love it. It's a very cool automated system to do some all grain brewing. The brew came out.
Where are we in the process of actually brewing a beer?
Again, we did a Treehouse Julius clone. Nate stepped out a little early for when we were doing our brew day, but Chris and I had noticed that when we were racking to the fermenter that it seemed a little dark for a New England IPA. So that thing has been very actively fermenting in the coolest room in my house. Props out to Brew Jacket. I got this thing in a Brew Jacket. Look them up. Which I switch out a 2-liter soda bottle full of water that's frozen every 24 hours. And that thing is keeping the Brew Jacket and the beer at a consistent 68 degrees.
How many? What's the schedule at this point moving forward for you?
So we're a day past primary fermentation is about 8 days right now.
Right.
So I was considering racking that to a secondary today.
Mm-hmm.
I go in, I took a look at it. As you guys have known, I told you my concerns, for lack of a better word, is that it is a little dark
Yeah.
for a New England IPA.
Right.
So I took the carboy out of the brew jacket today to just basically take a better look at it, find out what we're doing, maybe take other readings. And as I pulled it out of the brew jacket, took it in my kitchen to figure out what I'm going to do, is that it has definitely lightened in color quite a bit since brew day. And it definitely looks a lot more. It's still a little dark.
It looks good.
It's still a little darker than I would
can't
like.
wait to drink it.
So Chris and I had talked during the week that I don't know how I want to pursue some dry hopping, which we discussed in the episode previous to this. That is basically throwing in, extra hops after primary fermentation.
Right.
So let me get that real quick. So if you would have a glass carboy and you actually want to dry hop it, what would be the process of actually doing that? Right? Like, we usually throw them in there by hand, or would there be some kind of what can you do to actually do that?
There's different schools of thought to where there's people that buy like muslin bags or nylon bags, and they throw their hops in that, and then they push that into the fermenter. I did some research, and a lot of people don't believe in, primary dry hopping or secondary hopping. And so Chris and I had discussed about possibly dry hopping just in the keg when we go to keg and carbonate. So what I did was, I'm kind of letting the beer tell me what we should do. And so I took the carboy out to take a look at it in the light. It's been in this beer jacket, which is no more than a huge nylon insulated bag that keeps that thing at a consistent 68 degrees in my bathroom, no less.
Right.
For an ale. So I took that out today, and I told Chris that I was just planning on dry hopping that thing in the keg. But what I decided is I took it out today. I looked at the airlock. It's the beer is actually still fermenting after 7 or 8 days. And so I poured a couple ounces of Mosaic or an ounce of Mosaic and a couple ounces of
Cascade, I think you said, right?
I think Cascade, yeah.
I can just imagine the smell.
And,
it smells so
and
great.
that thing's going nuts, and it's lightened up a lot. It looks a lot
Yeah.
more like a New England IPA than it did when we first started racking it to the primary. So it's back in my bathtub in the coolest room in my house, obviously. And it's like at 64, 65 degrees. It's doing really well. It smells freaking amazing. It smells super sweet, super tropical.
So someone that might actually have, like, they listen to this podcast, never homebrewed, and you basically just said like 3 or 4 times that you would have this beer in your bathtub, in your bathroom. Is that a concern? I mean, it's the bathroom.
I mean, that's the reason you have it in there, right?
Right. I mean, it's not a reason.
It's
Right.
The tile floor, right?
The bathroom is a concern. I mean, with anyone who's done any type of home brewing or brewing period, that, sanitation is a huge concern, and cleanliness. So every time I touch that thing, I basically wash my hands like I'm going into surgery. And anytime I touch the airlock, I dump it into sanitizer.
What's an airlock, by the way?
An airlock is it's basically a plastic cork that goes into the carboy, and then there's a valve that plugs into that where I use I think they're called 2-piece airlocks, maybe 3-piece.
Yeah.
3-piece if you consider the plug. So it's a plug and a piece that plugs into the plug, and then another little piece that goes in that. So you fill it up with sanitizer, and that thing just basically pops up and down and bubbles. So
a nice sanitized way to make sure the air can get out. Right?
Exactly. Air can get out, but anything that's airborne or within the air can't get in.
Right.
So
Can't
really
come back.
being in a bathroom with what you normally do in a bathroom isn't that biggest concern.
Yeah, it's
because of the way that this is actually set up, right?
I also try not to poop next to my fermenting beer, though. But, I mean, if I can use a separate bathroom, I try. But yeah,
and again, from along that lines, my wife and I we're empty nesters. We don't have kids.
You have
we
an
don't
extra
that.
bathroom.
So I have an extra bathroom. I have 2 bathrooms in my house. One bathroom has an air conditioning vent, which is where my fermentation is occurring. One bathroom does not. So we avoid that. There's not a whole lot of traffic going in and out. So I have my bathroom with the vent in it is the coolest room in the house. But on top of that, we also have a brew jacket, which is a cooler that seals around this thing with an airlock. And I'm putting, basically a liter of ice in every day. So... any concerns about sanitation are gone because again, there's me, my wife, and my dogs, and pretty sure and my dogs aren't shitting in my bathroom.
Right.
What?
So why not put it in a spare bedroom? Like, what would be the difference? Why would you not put it in there instead?
Again, I kind of take my beer seriously. So you go around and it's obvious which room in my house is the coolest.
Floor.
I have the master bedroom, which we spend most of our time in.
Right.
We have the living room, which we spend our non-sleeping time in. And then we have 2 bathrooms. The bathroom that I'm doing fermenting in, it has that vent. And it has an ambient temperature of around 70 degrees.
Yeah.
So if I have
tile floor helps a lot.
If I have a carboy in a bathroom with a tile floor with a 1 liter soda bottle full of ice stuck in an insulated carboy, I am able to easily maintain a fermentation temperature of about 6 to 8 degrees in there.
Nice.
Which is important for an IPA, right?
Oh yeah, you want to keep it that level. It's important to do it just for many different reasons, but
And again, we're talking about 115 to 120 degree average Phoenix days here.
Right.
Yeah.
So a couple
Kill
of things
us
there, right?
now.
So low traffic, low light, right? Because the bathroom's inside the house. You're not getting outside
Exactly.
windows. You're not getting those kind of things coming in from there.
keep it on the tile.
Right.
No one is ever going in this room.
So low
Except
traffic,
me.
low light, and then just again an area that not a lot of people are going into. So
Yeah.
it makes more sense to kind of put in that room compared to where a living room or a bedroom or somewhere like a closet where you're going into.
Yeah.
It just makes more sense. I was trying to have people understand why you're putting it in this room compared to being anywhere else.
Absolutely, it's
and
just a smart place to put it. I mean, like Jeff said, it keeps cool.
Right.
It's cool because it's a centrally located room, and the way my house faces north and south.
Yeah.
So when the sun comes up, obviously, one side of my house is full sun in the north half the day and full sun in the south half the day, where this bathroom is no full sun at any part during the day, and it has an air conditioning vent in it. So it makes the most, it's not something I came up with lightly, and a lot of people are like, "Oh my God, you keep your carboy in the bathroom."
Exactly.
But
Fuck
again,
that.
we're empty nesters, and I am a creature of opportunity, and if I know what the coolest room in my house is going to be, that's where I'm going to put my beer to ferment.
Right.
Absolutely, and that's the point right there. Is what he said is it's keeping it cool. So you're gonna put it in the coolest room you can find. Whether that's and that's gonna change people's house to house.
Right.
I mean, we're in some of the coolest parts of my house right now. Honestly, so I might end up if I had to do a beer like that and I didn't have a spot like I do, where I have a temperature controlled fermentation area, then I would come back here. I'd come back in the bathroom back here because it stays very cool in this back part of the house, and that's really the point. Is you want to keep it from when you have that yeast in there, it's building heat. You know what I mean? It's heating itself at that point. You want to keep it cool. You want to keep it an area that's cool. That's the point.
Every concern of every brewer is going to be sanitation and temperature.
Right.
So, obviously you don't want to put a fermenter in a room where, a million people are going to be dropping a deuce in. Yeah,
Right.
I get that.
A public bathroom
Keep your
versus
flow
your
in
bathroom. Right. And that's my point is that somebody that hasn't brewed a beer before or hasn't, doesn't know about these things, that if I told you I was brewing a beer in my bathroom, you might be a little put off by that. And so I wanted to kind of explain
If you
why
didn't
that
understand why. Sure,
Yeah, it makes
absolutely.
more sense, right?
Yeah.
So that going into that, we are to the point of you might change, like transfer it to a secondary fermenter at this point, or where are we at in the full brew process?
Continue that dry hopping process.
Based on what I've seen today is, I brought the carboy out, I put it on a counter, and we were originally going to scrap the dry hopping and do it when we put it in the keg. So
I'll get us some glasses. Yeah, do it up.
What I did was I saw that the beer was doing well. The Kreuzen is doing well. The thing after a week is still fermenting. So I took a smell test. I took a look test, and everything is coming along well. So I dry hopped it today. I put it back in the bathroom in the brew jacket. And so
that brew jacket is cool.
It is very cool.
I like how big your carboy is, man. Like you got a big ass carboy.
Right,
And
so-
that's super beneficial, especially depending on how hard your yeast is gonna, how far that initial fermentation is gonna kick.
So that being said, the size of the carboy you normally use, or actually a batch of beer you normally brew, is like what, 5 gallons for
I've got a
homebrew, right?
6 gallon. I mean, if you're transferring from your initial boil into fermentation, I go into a 6 gallon. But Jeff, I mean, how big is that one you have?
6.5.
Is it? Wow, I am surprised it's only a half.
I thought it was like
larger.
8. I thought it was 8.
It looks like a big old motherfucker. So I mean, not
It's
surprised.
nice. I mean, it's a bigger
For that very active fermentation.
It's a bigger keg than you need. It gives me a lot of headspace. I don't have to worry about, like bubble overs or anything like
Right.
that. So I can put a regular 3-piece airlock in it and just let it go and not even worry about it going over. So in about a week or so, I dry hop today. The fermentation is still active. I sent you guys a video of the bubbler going nuts.
So pumped.
And so in about a week or so, we're going to transfer that to a secondary and start clearing that thing out.
Yeah, and it's going to be exciting because honestly, I cannot wait.
So this is a
tell
Julius
you-
clone, right?
It is a Julius clone
Yeah, I was gonna say,
from
let's get the
it
style.
is a BYO magazine Julius clone recipe that was tweaked by another home brewer to use Maris Otter malt.
Which that's one of the reasons we may think it's a little darker because of the malt we use, right? The marathon.
Right.
It might be a little darker because of that. But hopefully, and here's the thing is that I speak for myself here. I haven't tried Julius at all.
Nope, never had it.
I would love to get some so we can compare it.
Oh, we will.
Right.
Yeah, we have ways, but we just haven't done it yet.
We haven't done it yet. It hasn't been on the list per se.
Yeah. But we can get it.
Right. So at this point, what we're going to try is probably going to be the base, and then when we actually get a Julius, that's where we're going to put the Julius to what our base is, right?
Honestly, when we need to, we will pick up a 4-pack, and then we'll have to do a side.
Maybe we'll do a side by side.
Something tells me they'll be different, but something also tells me that ours is going to be really good. I mean, I was there when that was going down. I'm excited about it.
I'll tell you right now, I look at that thing every day. I smell that thing every day. It's going to be an incredible beer.
Yeah, I'm excited about it.
So we have with our listeners across the U.S. and other countries and stuff. I'll say this: if somebody has a 4-pack of Julius, or is somewhere on the has some Julius and want to trade,
Hey, if
Hit us up.
if you enjoyed this show and you live anywhere near Treehouse or anything like that, or Tired Hands, we'd love to trade with you. We'd love to. We're very generous traders, so we'd love to send stuff your way. But there's things. I mean, that's the thing. There's other parts and there's beers in other parts of the country we just can't get to. So
100% true.
we'd love to. We'd rather versus going. There's many different routes to get a beer.
Yeah.
But you'd always love to have a good friend trade with you.
Heck yeah.
So.
But like I said, I'd love to be able to take what we made as this clone
Yeah,
and
we're
then
gonna
actually
try
compare it
that.
to the original side
yeah.
by side.
Like I said.
That'd be a great podcast. So if somebody can make that happen for us,
Yep.
hit us up, hoppycraftsmen@gmail.com, or hit us on Instagram. We're
DM us
there.
on Instagram if you can find us real easy on there.
Yep.
We'll talk.
Yep.
We do need to talk about a couple of beers here real quick though,
100%
because
true.
we've poured a few. What was the beer we last talked about? We last
So,
talked about the
let me-
transient.
Let me jump back. Yeah, the
but we're
transient
going to
pale
go
ale.
to the we went to after the half-acre double daisy galactic double daisy cutter.
That double daisy cutter actually had some spiciness to it, some cinnamon, something.
You
I let it
probably
sit
liked
for a
it
little
quite
bit.
a bit then.
It jumped a little bit for me there,
You're a
but
little spicy.
still not great. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So we had another beer from them called the Vallejo.
Vallejo. Yeah, I think so. It looks like the can.
The
looks,
can's a 10. The Vallejo India Pale Ale. It's another half-acre brew out of Chicago, Illinois. And this one's good actually. The bitter they jumped the bitter up on this one, and it's tasty.
So I'm trying to remember what glass I have over here that actually is that one. I
can
guessing
tell you right now that
this one.
Yeah, it is because the thick one is the last beer
You're the thick one. Let's not go there.
So yeah, honestly, this one's good.
The can, by the way. So you said Vallejo.
It's got a nice dank smell on it.
Was it a bluish color? It's got some kind of like a oil painting kind of scene to it, kind of in the front.
It's a tight can. It's a keeper.
Yeah.
For me as a can person.
Half Acre's awesome.
Yeah, Half Acre does some cool stuff. I like this one a lot more than the double galactic. I really do.
Okay. Jeff, have you tried this yet?
The smell on it's nice. It's got a dank kind of smell on it.
It's really good.
It's really good.
I would say the smell on it's really good.
Again, it's got that kind of tropical nose to it.
Absolutely. Definitely on the tropical. It's clear-ish. It's trying. It's murky, but it's not a hazy double.
No,
it's not one of those hazy IPAs.
It would be one of those things where, again, if you're
you can tell they tried to clear it up.
If you're a home brewer and you got this fucking as a clearness,
oh yeah, you'd be so proud of that.
I'd be pumped to
You'd
this.
be like, yeah, I can fucking make some nice clean beer.
My glass has some bubbles popping up from the bottom there, which is nice.
Decent head.
It's not a super opaque.
Yeah.
Like
the next one is opaque.
Yeah.
It's not clear, but I can see light through it. I can see reflections through it. It's not, super cloudy, white, nutso.
Yeah.
Looks kind of old Belgian.
So overall, what do you guys look at this? Let's do this. This compared to the Daisy Cutter.
Definitely enjoying this more than the Daisy
this
Cutter.
better?
I mean, I think the bitterness gets me a little more on this one. I enjoy it more. I think the taste's just, I like this one more.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm in the same boat. Jeff?
Agreed.
So getting through all these beers, this is a tough fucking deal, man. Let me tell you what.
It is, and not only is it tough, it's just tough to give every beer its due.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it would have been interesting. Like Chase, he's like, please. The head brewer over at Wilderness, we were talking to him earlier this morning, and he's just like, please drink mine
sooner rather than later, because by the time you get to the end, your palate's done. It's a little harder to achieve the same kind of tasting notes you could. Right.
Than when
I'm trying to get some water to help clean my palate, but man, it's tough no matter what. Still.
Yeah, but have you seen this shock mount?
We are all very proud of our shop.
Oh man. So the next beer on the list here is the Transient Artisan Ales. We know from them. It's called the Juice is Loose Double IPA.
And this one you can tell it's called the Juice. We're doing the Half Acre double, 2 of them, and then Half Acre, and then 2 from Transient, and the Juice is Loose.
Yep. So let's go into that one.
You're a big fan of O.J. Simpson.
Yeah, right. As soon as I heard that name, I was like, "Yep, that sounds about right." Lot hazier than fucking the Leo here for sure.
You can understand why they called it Juice.
Yeah,
it's it's a lot more towards that opaque when you get to that filter level. You're not going to be seeing the sun through that one.
Darker though, too, right? And it's not necessarily this light straw or light pale color.
It's a little darker as well, but it's still, it's like that standard kind of juicy IPA look.
Yeah.
But it smells not.
Smells a lot maltier. Nate's going to like it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jeff.
Which is funny.
Jeff fucking nailed that one.
It's funny. This actually smells...
Smart man.
Felt kind of like homebrew a little bit to me. It has a homebrew, which is weird to kind of like... I don't know how you quantify that. No, not necessarily amateur. Fuck you, dude.
Dude, this is like that Bottle Logic.
Is it same kind of... The left, right.
And I didn't like that one.
No.
Yeah, I like this.
And I hate it.
There you go, Jeff.
No, seriously, take the whole glass.
I'm going to sort of like this.
MAF. Malty as fuck.
Yep. And Jeff nailed it. Jeff nailed it to a T. It's definitely a lot more malty. Yeah. It's for your style taste, that's great.
Dude, it's funny. So
I love this.
It's funny. This is definitely...
It's so funny. Isn't tasting so funny like that? Because honestly, Jeff nailed it. He knew immediately I wasn't going to like it. Yeah. And he was 100% right.
No. And I would say that same thing. There's no way that you would like this. It's definitely a little bit malty on the side. It's funny that... And it could be because of the homebrew thing where it's like the burnt... Not necessarily burnt, but caramelized malt. A little bit more caramely to it.
This is very, very much like the Bottle Logic left, right.
Very
much.
Yeah, a little bit. A little more caramel to me because compared to that one, but still really good.
It's very malty up front.
Yeah, that's weird.
And I love that.
The juice is loose might be a little bit of a misnomer on this beer. I don't think it's the juicy beer that it should be.
That's a little weird.
Right. Yeah, it's just to me. I get lots of caramel notes to this. A lot of burnt sugar, maybe. Juicy. I wouldn't describe this as a juicy tropical beer at all. In those things, in those notes.
Sorry about that.
But I like it. I do like this beer. It's almost nice at this point now, because we're so far into this trend of fucking juicy tropical beers. It's nice to actually have something that's a little bit different, but still really good.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's like I said, Jeff nailed it. I'm not a fan, but we obviously I'm outnumbered here, so.
But I'm a huge fan.
But here's the deal: is that
exactly?
Again, we talk about this all the time.
A huge fan.
Huge.
It
is so subjective on the taste. So
totally.
Yeah, it's good though. I like this. What else we got here? What's going on?
Well, we're near our last few beers. If not, we just finished our last beer. We have 2 more to go. And we've got we need to finish these beers. So I'm gonna clean us out some glasses real quick. You guys can figure out something to talk about real quick.
Excellent.
We may need to get into that Play-Doh Kickstarter while I'm gone real quick.
Yeah, it might be a good idea. Let's talk about that. I mean, because we've been doing some homebrewing.
Yeah, Jeff can pull up some info on that or something. We can get some info going.
Lots of homebrewing, right? So, I mean, one thing about this podcast that has had a great impact on us is that we talk to these brewers, we go to these breweries, and we fucking want to brew again. I mean, it's one of those things where it's so just. I mean, what's the? It's very. I want a homebrew now, right? They talk about it. We talk about it with them. We talk about fucking different things, and it's very just. It's not addictive per se, but it's very like you said it. I want to do it now.
Just everything we see, it's not a point of I need to get some of that. It's more I need to make some of that.
Right, and it goes back to our. Again, Arizona, we brew some really, really, really good beers in Arizona, and instead of us trading or going out and doing things, it's like, let's fucking just brew those beers, man. Let's fucking find a clone online. Let's fucking do some home brewing and make these beers ourselves, right?
And it's so easy to do.
Well, it's so fun to do.
Right.
It's so fun to do, though.
That too.
You get a passion for like finding. You're like, okay, well, I saw that beer, can't get it, but you know what? I'll make it. Right. And that's what you've done like 3 different times at this point.
But you see those recipes and it's like, I like this part, but not that. So let me enhance that.
Yeah, absolutely. Exactly. Oh yeah, absolutely. That's the best part is being able to put your own spin on any home brew.
Right.
And just to interject here, I made a command decision. We're on our last brew.
Okay.
It was the last IPA in the box. So
Perfect.
we're gonna end there.
Perfect.
Jeff, can you go ahead and pronounce that one for me?
Circuitous.
Thank you. Circuitous from Puebla Vida. That's a fair one to end on. It's a nice double IPA, and we're getting back to what I really like. I mean, this is a good beer. I mean, what did you think of that one, Jeff? Oh, I drop it all over the place.
Like I said, I mean, it's not about being local.
Yeah.
It's not about preferences. Puebla Vida is fucking killing it lately.
Yeah, absolutely. They are. They're doing nonstop good brews. And they at this point they own it in Tucson. I mean, I haven't been to Tucson yet, but and I guess we can get into it a little bit because we have some time to kill here.
There's some
people who are in Tucson think Tucson's killing it and have nonstop good breweries, and that Phoenix isn't doing super good. Honestly,
really?
honestly, I was looking at some people who are from Tucson and talking to them. They don't think Phoenix doing so good, and they think Tucson's just killing it. So I'd be really interested to know what else in Tucson is good. Because don't get me wrong, Puebla Vida, 0 bad words to say from this panel of people. But I'd be interested to know what other breweries are killing it out there.
I mean, the Thunder Can we had from
That's
them,
right.
That was actually pretty good. I haven't had a whole catalog of their beers.
Glassware's off the chain.
So I mean, that I guess that's a good point too. Is what in your opinion makes a fucking brewery killing it, right? Is it can they have one fucking beer and they're fucking like just killing it, or that their catalog of beers will make up all
It's
of the
a series of releases, right? I mean, look at we don't have it unfortunately here in front of us. It's a pale as well, but the microburst from them, I think they're gonna realize that's, if they haven't already, that's gonna be one of their best sellers forever.
Right.
That's a great beer.
Yeah.
That's a really great beer. And I don't think they need to change it. I don't think you need to ever do a variation of it. I just think you need to keep making it, because that beer is freaking super good. And I don't know. They're doing multiple quality releases and whatever you stock in your tap room as well.
But if I was a
that's
brewery,
what adds up to killing it.
Right. But if I was a brewery and I had fucking like, I had a microburst, right? That was the only beer that I fucking had, and I had fucking like 6 other beers.
Hang your hat on that shit and love it.
Right. But does that mean I'm killing?
No,
beer?
You're just.
You're doing
well.
You're right. You have a good beer.
Don't get me wrong. It only takes one good beer.
Right. But
look at Pliny. Don't get me wrong. Never to say the Russian River has one good beer, but it only takes one incredible beer to create a whole persona around your brewery. That's insane.
To me, if you have one good beer, that's the draw, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna come in.
No, you're right.
I'm gonna
what
come
are they gonna
in,
get there, and they're gonna not get shit, right?
Right. If I'm start getting deep into your catalog of fucking beers, and you only have fucking one good beer, I can't. It's hard for me to go, you're killing it.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Right.
You're all the breweries we've talked about today. If we used these one brews to get in the door, we'd be disappointed. I'd hate to say it, but Fieldworks a disappointment for me of the day. And I'll tell you right now, when we started this podcast, guarantee didn't think I'd be saying that.
No.
But that, honestly, Fieldworks definitely a disappointment of the day for me. And if they had been a positive for me, and I got in there, and then I had these beers, and I had like a good can, the pulp. I had one good can, and then I get in there and I have the rest of these beers that aren't so spectacular to me personally. Yeah, I'd be a little disappointed by that.
Little even mediocre beers. It's hard for me to fucking, like, if I start getting deep into some of these Caligo beers, and there's some very mediocre stuff in there where stuff I'm like, nah, this is not amazing, or I think I can get back into.
But you also have to have the wherewithal to realize whether you're just being picky or it's the bad beer.
100%
and
true.
I have the wherewithal to realize that I'm a picky motherfucker.
No,
I'm
a
a picky person.
My again, when we say killing it, right?
Yeah,
that's a very strong fucking.
Monkish, killing it.
Right.
Weekly, daily with the double IPAs and the juicy IPAs. Probably, at least in my opinion, killing it.
And we bring it back local here. Renhouse.
Absolutely.
Totally killing it.
Absolutely
killing it.
Because they've got multiple releases that are great. You've got the peaches and cream. You've got the 10. The 10. I can't wait to try maple. Is it Maple Valley? Is that the name of it?
Saguaro side, I don't remember though.
Well, someday I'll try.
Yeah,
maybe we can pull Drew. Maybe we can try that one someday.
Right.
But regardless, they are doing multiple good releases.
Right.
And we are going to do the Who Hit John Grand Crew at some point here in the future, and that's another release from them.
Right.
We've only heard positive things.
So that's my kind of point. Is that
it can't be one.
When we say killing
You're
it,
right.
we're not necessarily saying that they have one standout phenomenal fucking beer.
Yeah.
We're saying that we went there, they had one fucking beer, and then we fucking had another phenomenal beer. We had another phenomenal beer.
Tell you right now, though, if I was a brewery or I just started a nano brewery or something along those lines, and I had one beer that people just loved, it would keep me going. That's how you start.
Right. Well, it inspires you to do more, right?
Yeah,
it sparks me to fucking create more.
That's where all these
great
breweries
beers
started, was one great beer. And so,
Right.
no, you're right. As far as me killing it, yeah, you've got to have multiple releases put together. And, getting back to just catching shade for Arizona different people, but we'll have to take a quick break here in a second. But, I've caught different people, people like to say, Wilderness isn't doing such a good job anymore. But it's like, come on, man.
Horseshit.
Look at the quality. Look at the quality of the beer coming. Just because you didn't like it doesn't mean they're not doing great work.
And
that's just one guy's opinion.
It's hard. I mean, Pueblo Vita, for me, for sure, is killing it.
Yeah.
Fucking Renhouse is killing it.
Yeah.
Arizona Wilderness is killing it. And
Modern Times, just for getting out of the state,
Right.
they're doing
Out of town.
nonstop releases
Killing it.
that are doing good jobs. So.
yeah, so, all things aside, let's review this one real quick, and then I think we're good, right?
Yeah,
So,
we're good here. We're gonna talk about this
So the
beer, and then we're gonna
Circuitous-
finish it up here. What is we? Oh yeah, the Circuitous. Like I said,
From
dude,
Pula Vida.
we're gonna be talking to them soon. We talked to Chase. At least we talked to Chase over at the head brewer at Wilderness, and we're hoping we got a good word over at
Yeah.
Pula Vida.
Yeah,
We're hoping they got the good word on us.
This one it came out with their other. It was a microburst microburst release.
They released it with the microburst this time, and it's a good double. It's a great double.
We had a great mule, right? Drake, Jeff's nephew, actually was.
Yep.
My buddy.
Yep,
Yeah.
Jeff's nephew took care of us on this one because it's hard to get to Tucson sometimes.
Big ups to him, for going there and trying to get this beers for us. This is their double. I would, I like this beer. The microburst is fucking phenomenal. The monsoon is fucking off the charts. How good that beer is.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'd love that this can. By the way, if you look at it, it's actually like fucking Easter kind of colors smeared across it with about a whole fucking maze. The maze is actually fucking solvable, which is amazing too.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I did not know that. Note to self.
Yeah, get a little
Grab
drunk.
pen.
Try to fucking grab a pen. Figure that fucking maze out.
That's funny.
That's fucking phenomenal. This beer, it's a darker, smell wise. What are you guys getting from smell?
Lots of tropical.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So good.
It is. It's just a great double. It is a little sweet.
A little bit.
But it is a really good beer.
Clean finishing. If the finish is really clean on this
Yeah.
beer. Overall, I like this. Overall, let's I know we fucking drink a lot of fucking
Sorry,
beer.
I was just drinking still. Sorry,
No,
I was
no,
too,
no.
I was too caught
Understand.
up busy, Chris. I was busy drinking, Chris. Come on.
Thank you, Nate. We drank a lot of fucking beer today.
Yeah, we did.
And the last two episodes, technically. Overall, what beer stood out the best?
I've got one. What do you got, Jeff?
Bottle Logic killed it.
Really? Wow, why did you left, right, left, right?
left, right just killed me today.
Wow, okay. Because just the overall balance of it, or
I
what?
mean, lots of good beers today, but that one just spoke to me. That one just totally keyed in on my
What you want.
beer senses.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, and that's so respectable. What was the first beer we had today?
That's really tough.
It was the Space Dust.
Space
We
Dust.
did the
Space Dust.
Space Diamonds.
Space Diamonds
Whoa.
from Other Half. Let's not be the old man.
Which
who don't
was
know the name
also
of things. You're right.
amazing.
It's Space Diamonds. Honestly, the best beer I had today, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But it was the best beer I had today, and it was Smells Like Teen Spirit. It was the best beer I had today.
And it's funny. So
It was the best beer I had today.
I love that Nate, your two beers that you came down to were those two beers that made your top, right?
What's that? What was the other one?
The Space Diamond and the Smells Like Teen Spirit.
It was. Those were the two best beers I had today.
So those are by far those are on par with each other. Like there wasn't one better than the other one.
No.
If I was
yeah, absolutely. If I had to be like, if they had to make me choose between the
Yeah.
two, still take the Smells Like Teen Spirit.
really okay.
Oh yeah, it was fresh as shit, man, and you could tell.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but you can tell when a beer's been bottled been canned 2 days before, and it was so good. It's so clean, and Chase is right. It is one of the best dirty hop water series yet. So
Yeah.
no, it was the best beer, and it may have not had maybe the other beers didn't have a fair shake. I can tell you right now, every other brewer of this beer wouldn't take it to heart because I didn't buy this can the way they would have seen fit.
Right.
Outside of Circuitous and a few other local stuff. But, a lot of breweries take to heart how you transport beer and how you take it in. And even Chase was talking about that in our Arizona Wilderness episode. So, yeah, we'll see. But regardless, that was the best beer for me.
All right. So for me, the best beer is also the Wilderness beer. That was it's funny
There
because
you go.
that Space Diamond was really, really close. Those are the top
it
two.
was.
Those are the top two for me for sure
was.
too.
I know, and by the way, I know I said we'd do the super fun, but apparently I drank that before we had a chance to do that. Sorry, guys.
So you may listen to episode
I was
1
not
or
the
episode
can.
2
Yeah.
when we mentioned that. Not going to happen.
Yeah, keep
But-
waiting on that one.
Yes. Arizona Wilderness fucking
Yeah, that
killed
was
this
a good beer, man. Put it in any other can. I tell you right now, I'd have picked it first.
Yeah, it was phenomenal. It was
In my
really,
opinion.
really good. And it could be because it was fresh. It just could be they did a lot to get to
knows?
this point. But I like the beer a lot too.
Yeah.
So
I mean, and I'd love to hear, and anybody who has a disagreement, please, we'd love, if anything, we love constructive, hey, we disagree or anything, so please, so let us know.
Yep.
We drank a lot of beer, and I guarantee someone who heard us drink a beer today we didn't like disagrees, and that's exactly who we want to hear from.
Yeah, 100%.
So anyway, thanks a lot, guys. Really appreciate, me personally, just appreciate you guys coming over to drink all this delicious beer, but you also contributed, so thanks a lot.
So, as always, I'm Chris.
I'm Nate.
Jeff.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys. Have a good one.
Thanks, everyone.